Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision show, and we are back again, of course, for another episode of the ESC United Expert Panel. Yes, ESC United is talking about the 41 songs that were selected to take part in Eurovision 2020, share our thoughts, and then our scores. And before I tell you what's going on, let me introduce the team. We've got Holly, we've got Gabe, and we've got Connor joining me today, and we are ready to talk Albania. Albania almost always, I should say, the first country to pick a song with Festival de Kangas happening usually in December. There was a short conversation that I want to have it in November. We were like, what? That would have been crazy. But anyway, was still the first song for God knows how long, and ultimately we have a song. It has been revamped, has been changed to English. Arilena Ara is the act. The name of the song, Fall from the Sky.
Fall from the sky, always making me hold back my wings when I'm destined to fly.
All right, let's talk about this. Gabe, you're up first. What are your thoughts?
I have so many good emotions and also so many sad emotions about this, because they should have kept it in Albanian. This is something that really annoys me. They've done this, a few times in recent years. Like the best songs. So Mal in 2018 and Sus in 2012. They have something in common. They were in Albanian and they kept it in the language. And it's a beautiful song. It is gorgeous. Her voice is fantastic. It's full of drama and energy.
You can even mention last year as well was also in Albanian, right?
Yeah, exactly. They did not need to. I mean, revamp it, okay, but they did not need to put it into English. And when I think about this, I always think of, for example, Randajad from 2009, Estonia. Can you imagine if they put it into English? It would have lost some of the magic.
I know.
And that was an incredible entry, but it just loses that little something, and it's really sad because I feel like we have lost something, and I don't think it would have been her decision. They have their team and so on, and I think it was not her decision to not sing this song in the language that it was written in. So that's a shame for me.
So definitely for Gabe, the deal breaker was the translation. Holly, what do you think?
I agree. I think I read somewhere that she actually had the idea for the song in English first, yes, and sort of communicated that with her songwriting team. But I agree. I think it's much more beautiful in Albanian. I do like the revamp, just not the language portion. But I love the ambience that the song creates. I love the build. I think it's, just a really beautiful ballad. I'm not a ballad person, but her voice is unique enough and strong enough to make it sound above average for me. I think, especially in the bridge in the studio version, there's this kind of aggression in her voice followed by a really soft, emotive part that kind of brings me back into the song after I drift a little bit. It's nice to have that kind of the build and then the drop and everything. But after saying all that, it's still a ballad. It's a slightly more memorable one, but it's a ballad and it's just not my favorite. Yeah.
Okay, no, it makes perfect sense. I remember, I think Shy, what it was called before, was originally my fourth favorite in the national final. So it was never my highest to begin with, but I liked it. And when she was singing it in the original version, which was a little bit more on the ballady side than the current one, it was so heart-wrenching and emotional, almost sad and pure when she's like, Shy. It's like, oh, my heart. That was its strongest attribute actually to the song. And I agree with what Gabe said. I agree with what Holly said. Once again, they lost me with the revamp, both the language and the revamp overall. The English lyrics are a little bit it is a tad whatever to me. And Gabe makes a point, some of the classics, imagining 2009 Estonia being translated into English, because it has authentic sound to it, but then in English, it's just I love my shoe and my shoe loves me. It's just something really, really random that doesn't make any sense.
No, that's Lithuania 2013, man.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, sorry. I mixed them up. But this is kind of what I feel like here. Of course, it's a little bit more sophisticated, the lyrics. But it's just the arrangement became too mid-tempo-y for me. It lost that beautifulness that it originally had. It erased the vulnerability, and just that was the factor that I liked the most about the song. Now it's just a bit, so what? And I find that the English lyrics don't fit into the melody. It was like shine, and I was like, it's fall from the sky. Like she's trying to squeeze in so many words that it just doesn't feel natural to me anymore. So the revamp is not working for me. The original was okay, good. This one is just average to me. I know my review sounds really negative. It's not that bad, but I know what the original product I like better than the final product, so that's probably why I'm so disappointed. But it's still a decent song. How about you, Connor?
Yeah, I'm like really torn on this one because I have always been a big fan of the Albanian entries, especially in the past 2 years, where we've gotten just plain Albanian in Eurovision again, with no, I mean, revamps, but with no like English revamps. Because we saw what happened in 2017 where they killed a great song in English, just obliterated it. And like, there's nothing wrong with this song, but like that the problem is that it went from a like really, really good quality Albanian entry to a just fine song when they flipped it into English. And I think that the biggest issue that I have with it is not so much that it was written in English and then switched to Albanian and back to English, but I think that my favorite part of the song was how simplistic the original track was. And I think that they've lost a lot of that. Like, it still has that build and it still has kind of those elements in it, but I think that they've just drowned out the meaning of the song with too many instrumentals. And so I think that that's really where it started to lose me, because this was in like my top 10, like top 10, top 12. And then when the revamp came out, it just slowly started to move gradually further down the list. I think that if they had kept the elements of the piano version and then gone into like once the big, violin swell comes in, switched to this revamped version of the track and like slowly moved us into this, it'd be a whole different story. But yeah, I find myself that I'm listening to the Festivali Ikingas track more than I am the revamp, which isn't a good sign for a song overall.
Probably not. I would agree with that. But let's talk about points. So these are our thoughts. Let's see what score we gave it and go from there. Gabe, you up first. What did you give Albania?
So there's actually a lot more considerations for this song than I'd usually take into account. I will admit that the original version does influence my score. That really powerful moment where she's just heavily breathing and sort of looking out into the distance, sort of that emotional scene. I think also it's worth pointing out that this song has won over a lot of Eurovision fans after what at the time was like an apocalypse when Mitana didn't win.
Sure, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. That shows success, I think, on Arilena's part. I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10 because it is a really, really great song, but they've squandered something. There was a magic touch to it before, which is now gone, and that is a shame.
That is a shame indeed. Holly, what's your score?
Yeah, I agree that there was something about the original that's gotten lost, literally lost in translation. In saying that, I think I'm one of the only people that prefers the instrumental revamp. But yeah, since they've revamped it, it's lost a point for me, so I gave it a 6.5.
Okay. I think I'm a little bit more on the harsh side. The original one, I thought was good. Like, I wasn't quite as thrilled with the original one either, but I had appreciation for the rawness of the emotion of what Gabe just pointed out. So it probably would have been like a 6.5 or something for me. The new version really just like lost almost not all, but so much of its unique character, and it becomes a little more of an average song that is fine to listen to, but it just doesn't do anything with me emotionally or anything. So I'm giving it smack in the middle of 5 points. So unfortunately, one of the lower scores for me, 5 points for Albania. Connor.
So the big struggle that I have with this song is that if this was sung by anyone else but Arlena, it would be a terrible song, and I would probably be on your side of the boat, Matt. But like, respecting her vocal ability and the performance that she gave, and the fact that I know that she's going to she could have blown the roof off of Ahoy if we were there. I feel like it has influenced my score slightly. So I'm actually in agreement with Gabe. I gave it a 7.5. If it had been the original Festivale e Kingus version, it might have been slightly higher. But honestly, like I'm not exaggerating here, that you could give Arilena anything and she probably would sell a song to me. But with this grouping of songs and with this revamp, she's just fallen flat in the crowd. Like she's lost the ability to stand out now.
Okay, there you have it. But what do we give it overall? It's not just the four of us. There are plenty of other on Team ESC United sharing their scores, all contributors, and I'm here to share the official result for Albania, and the score is 6.42. Oh, that was not. That was. Can you fake it at least a little emotion? What? No.
No, I'm really sad.
Okay, so Gabe, what do you think?
Well, I just think that it's a low score for, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know what they feed Albanian children, but they all grow up to be incredible singers.
I know, right?
It's incredible. It is genuinely, though. I'm going to make a bold prediction, which is that if she comes back next year, whether it seems unlikely that they'd get rid of the national final, but if she comes through the national final, I don't know if there's a rule that says you can't go again if you win. If there is, they should waive it for her. She could come through. You give that girl the right song and she will win Eurovision. She has the vocals, she has stage presence. Like, all the boxes have the potential to be ticked here if she comes back with the right product. I just really hope that happens.
Yeah. So we lost you there for a second, Gabe, but we got what you said. Holly, you had hardly any facial expressions, so I have to ask you.
I mean, I gave it a 6.5. It got a 6.42 or whatever. I'm pretty much smack bang on what the team thought. I agree.
So yeah, I think the score to me is, and it's sad because I know Albania had a lot of push, not the right word, but certainly a lot of support initially, and I think once the revamp version came out, those points dropped significantly. Some of the magic, I guess, has been lost, but nevertheless, 6.42 is not a bad score at all. It's and you can see on the scoreboard right here where Albania falls overall, and we would love to hear from you. Where do you put Albania? Do you give it a 6.5 like Holly? Are you going to give it a higher score? You still think it's an amazing song, or did it lose some of the magic, or were you never a fan to begin with? Anything's possible. Leave your thoughts below in the comment section. We would love to hear from you. We'll be back soon with the next video. So talk to you all later. Bye.